What up, nerds? So, what we have here is a YouTube channel by me, and it's mostly going to be about video games. I'm sure we'll talk about other things here and there, but mostly video games. Today, we're going to talk about the video game. It's the video game I've put the most hours of my life into, and that is World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft originally came out in 2004, 2005-ish. Currently, it's 2020, so the game's been going on for a while. Every couple years, they have what's called an expansion. It's essentially like a sequel, or it's really just a massive content update. In this one specifically, it's called Shadowlands, and they've done a lot of good things as far as the new player experience. They really want to get new people in, because you have a game for 15 years, it's going to be a bit difficult for people to catch up. So that's kind of what they're aiming to fix here. What I ended up doing is making a brand new account, just kind of going through and seeing how the new player experience feels. One of the things I like to keep in mind is how it would feel to somebody that has never played video games, never played World of Warcraft, and if you guys want to try it out afterwards, be happy to do that. I would love to play with you. What we're looking at here is the character creation screen. Usually I don't care too much what the character looks like, because eventually they're going to have armor covering most of it. However, they had a lot of different character customization options added in this expansion. So you see I got a Draenei Shaman here that I'm working on. It's super fun to do. World of Warcraft's never been really all about the customization, which is good, because sometimes if you give the players too much power over customization, you get some stupid looking characters. So World of Warcraft's a bit more uniform, and in my opinion a bit more realistic that way. Now, after you create your character, as a new player, you get put into like a boat. You're on the ocean, people are talking and everything. And it's just basics, right? They show you how to move your character, how to press the 1 button, the 2 button, really basic stuff like that. Now, eventually a storm happens, this boat crashes, and you get put on an island, which you can see is what's going on here. So Captain Garrick over there, she is showing me how to use my skills. Currently, as a shaman, you get Lightning Bolt, something called Primal Strike, and Flame Shock. Shaman's cool because they can cast spells, and then they can do melee damage with a weapon as well. So she's kind of teaching you to stand back, shoot out your lightning bolt, and then when she runs in, that's why she's throwing me across the screen like that. And then when she runs in, that's when you start using your melee attack. This is one of the things that stuck out to me as really, really helpful for people that either haven't played a video game before or just don't know the basics of combat in an MMO. So super helpful. This is one of the things where I was like, man, if my dad was playing this, this is something that would be massively helpful for him. Another thing, you can't see it because my gorgeous face is in the way of the chat box on the bottom left hand corner, but normally they have like a world chat, and you can type, it's called whispering, but you just send private messages to people. The one thing I noticed that was brand new this expansion, they have what's called Newcomer Chat, and this might be just because I was on a new account, but essentially they have people that are max level in the game and have spent countless hours, making a character. They will volunteer as guides, and you can ask them questions if you need help with anything. Now, I typed into the chat a couple times just to see if it would work. I didn't get any responses until I was in like a main city after the tutorial, so it wasn't super helpful then. But in general, super good idea. Now, this is another one of the things I wanted to bring up. World of Warcraft is a very good class system. So I mentioned before, I'm playing a shaman. They're the master of the elements. They shoot out fire and lightning and cleanse people with water, all that stuff. They're like a spiritual guru type thing. They also have, warriors and assassins, mages and priests, all kinds of different things. Hunters. Great. It's super good. One of the best things about World of Warcraft is the class design. And this is one of my favorite parts of the tutorial island. So you see there, I just walked past like this little ghost wolf, right? Shamans have a couple different abilities that nobody else can get. One of those is Ghost Wolf. You can turn into a semi-transparent wolf, and he runs faster, I think 30% faster than your normal walking speed, which is huge, especially on Tutorial Island, where I have to slowly jog everywhere with my giant Draenei body there. So I think what they had me do is I had to collect some like water lilies from this pond, and then I burnt them and breathed in the smoke of it. My guy got super high, started seeing spirit wolves everywhere, and then they kind of gave me their blessing, and now I have this spell to be a spirit wolf. One of the best feelings in World of Warcraft, or in video games period, is actually earning something. So instead of them just handing you spells like that, which they hand you plenty, because you can't earn every single one or else you'll get bored. But an important and unique spell like that, they have you do a quest for, and you earn it. It just really makes it feel more immersive. So that's one of the great things about it. The whole story so far, you land, you help your people, heal up, find food, shelter, all that. It turns out there's some ogres doing like some dark necromantic magic. They're trying to, raise something. So your goal here is to stop it. One of the things I really wasn't expecting. As you're about to assault the castle and stop the top necromancer, I thought you'd just walk in there with some NPCs and be good to go. What they actually have you do is they put you in a dungeon, kind of like a little a mini instance, right? Usually you have 5 people in your group in World of Warcraft. You'll have 3 DPS, which is people who do damage, and then a tank, which is somebody that doesn't do as much damage normally but can take a lot more damage, and then a healer. That should be pretty self-explanatory. They make sure nobody dies by healing them. What they did here is they actually just paired me up with another DPS, and then they gave us an NPC healer and tank, which is pretty cool. So you can see over on the left, I got this little gnome warrior smacking on that giant ogre, and I'm shooting lightning bolts at it. This was a really good idea, really good decision by World of Warcraft to do. Um, One of the best things about it, I think it kind of gets the new player anxiety out of the way, because dungeons are kind of a daunting thing. You have to group up with people who you don't know, especially if you don't know the dungeon, have never done it before, and not that many people talk. Sometimes people will just do it and try to speed through it, and that can be really overwhelming if you've never done it before. So while this isn't a true dungeon, it is a very good way to get your feet wet. The one thing I think they could do to help out new players a little bit more is in the bottom right hand corner they have a journey guide, so that if you are in a dungeon and you're not sure what's going on, you can open that and it'll say, this is the enemy, this is the loot he drops, these are his different moves and the mechanics, and it'll even give you tips on how to stop it, based on your role. But it's down there in the bottom right hand corner, and I'm pretty sure nobody ever looks at it because constantly people are messing things up, which isn't, the worst thing in the world. I think one of the things that would really help is just shove it in the player's face a bit more if they don't know what they're doing. Like if you clearly know they're a new player, give them a bit more information. That never hurts anybody. What we're looking at here is the final boss fight. So this is the head ogre that's trying to raise his dragon. So as you can see, we're trying to kill him. Giant purple things on the ground is something I wanted to touch on as well. As somebody who's played a ton of video games and World of Warcraft and just MMOs in general, I know to avoid that kind of stuff. But again, just thinking back to my, if I had my dad playing, I don't think he would be like, oh, there's purple stuff on the ground, I need to get out of it. Let's see if it's good, let's see if it's bad, let's wait. That's something that they should pop up and kind of give you a bit more information on it. Say, hey, don't stand in this. It's obviously bad. Again, sometimes you just got to shove things in people's face. So yeah, that guy kind of sacrifices himself, raises this dragon, and then your job is to kill that as well. A couple more mechanics, but as a caster, for the most part, you can just kind of stand back and do your own thing. None of this is very hard. I would imagine, even as a new player who's never played the game before, you can get in here and not have any issues whatsoever trying to, kill everything. The only thing that might hurt you a little bit, the map sometimes, especially in caves, can be a little bit confusing, just because it's not nearly as intuitive as you would want it to be. But for the most part, they have like a new kind of tracker that shows you where you have to go. Very helpful. As you can see, we down this dragon, finally get our first piece of good gear, and we equip that. And one of the best parts about that fight, I don't know if you guys saw, but it was raining and muggy and gross and just my favorite kind of weather. But you're on top of a castle fighting a dead dragon, and it's like storming. And then once you kill it, it clears up and the sun comes out. I think that's so awesome, such a nice touch. One of those things that just brings you more into the world for sure. So yeah, beat everything, and they're like, oh, the eagles are here to fly us back to home. So you complete the quest, you hit level 10. I think it's designed to hit level 10 as soon as you finish everything, because I didn't really grind any mobs. I just kind of went through and did the quest so you guys could see everything. As you can see, they have a ton of achievements. That's really something a lot of people like to do. I wish the achievements were more than just kind of an arbitrary number. Some of them do have rewards, and some of them exclusive rewards where you can only get a certain mount or a pet through doing a certain achievement. I just wish they all had something, whether it be some in-game currency or experience. I don't know. I'm always going to critique any video game I see because I would like to create my own someday, and that's what you want to do. You want to take the best from everything and improve on it where you can. So yeah, all in all, I think it should be a pretty fantastic expansion. Had no problem with the new player experience overall. Very good job of explaining the basics of the game and the basics of the class you pick. Now, if you pick a second class, maybe you start out with a warrior, which is kind of like a basic sword and shield guy. You're fighting and all that. And then the next class you play is a mage, which is somebody who can't take nearly as much damage. They're ranged, they cast spells. They don't hit you with weapons or anything. Very different play styles. So I don't know if they do the tutorial island every time you create a new character. I don't think so. But that's something to keep in mind. There's always tons of guides and people and things you can watch online as well if you need help. Or you can just watch my YouTube channel too. That works. So yeah, you hop on the Eagles, they take you home, and everybody's good to go. They give you a mount so you can get around a little bit faster, and then they send you into the previous expansion's content. So you'll level up on the older content first, and then once you hit level 50, you'll go to the Shadowlands content, and you'll play that until you get 60, and then you can start doing end game. World of Warcraft is very much an end game focused game, so the leveling experience, while fun the first time, is not something you can repeat over and over again. You can definitely do it over and over again, but you're not going to read the quest as much. You're not going to really care about what's going on. You just want to be done with it, get to max level so you can actually play the game with everybody else. So yeah, that's the review on that. Stay tuned for more. Give me, critiques or anything on this, because this is like the first YouTube video I've done in a while, and I actually, as lame as it sounds, I had to obviously, trim different parts of the actual recording, and I didn't do any class for this. I'm just self-teaching myself on YouTube tutorials and things of that nature. So yeah, guys, do your thing. Appreciate you watching. Come out with another one shortly. See you later.